And ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we want to welcome you all to the Hello LLC 2025 is here. And oh my God, it is time to wake up and win in 2025. And today we're going to be having an amazing conversation of master the metaverse and apply AI, because this is something that you all have to understand. Businesses should be embracing this AI. You should be embracing this metaverse. And first of all, knowing what it is. A lot of people claim they know what it is, don't know what it is, think they know what it is. It's not just about, games. It's not just about grandma or your favorite uncle running into the wall. It's really about a 3D immersive environment, especially as we move from this Web 2 that we're in right now, this crusty, dusty picture video era, to moving to this Web 3, where you've heard of blockchain, you've heard of fintech, you've heard of metaverse. All of these things are a new evolution of a digital landscape at the end of the day. How we interact, how we make decisions, how we operate effectively, how we can personalize customer experience, how we can be able to immerse ourselves in a global reach and have new opportunities for revenue, being able to bring these technologies together to future-proof our business, and more importantly, be able to become the industry leader in whatever you do utilizing this technology. And I'm here to share with you guys, we talk facts, we don't talk feelings, we don't talk opinions, we definitely don't go for the low vibration conversations. This is about raising your vibration and helping you understand that the future's here. And it's up to you to be able to make that pivot. And it's up to you to be able to really make that transition. And so without further ado, if you guys don't know, my other half, my other partner, my other sidekick in this adventure, this thing called life, Tara Love, what you got to say as we start this 2025?
Well, I got a clarification. You said your other partner. You got multiple partners? I'm just kidding. I get it. Well, hello, beautiful people. Happy 2025. It's a new year, as they say. And what are we talking about? Web3, of course. Why are we talking about Web3? Because this year, guys, we're really going to drive home the impact Web3 will have on you, how it's already implemented into our society at very easy entry points. And what I mean by that is like PayPal, Stripe, Cash App, Venmo. These are examples of Web3 payment systems that are evolving. They were Web 2 payment systems. They're evolving to start utilizing Web 3. And what does that mean? It means that they're starting to weave in Web 3 intrications into our current society, our current system, which is how it has to go, because as you know, humans do not like change. They don't like it abruptly. So it has to be easy. It has to kind of go with the flow, and it has to be very minimal. But the reason why we are talking about this is not only because of those things. It is also about, what is, how do I say this in a very easy way that it doesn't, it's not political, but it is political. There's a new administration coming into town. And because of that new administration, regardless what side you live on that, that's not this conversation. What this conversation is being aware of what they're going to push. And at the end of the day, there's obviously different channels that talk about those things when they get into the deeps of, what this person does and what that other person does and all these things and all that within the political realm. We don't talk politics, but we're aware of politics because politics drives innovation and viewpoints drive innovation. Meaning, if things are viewed upon in a way of discouragement, for instance, cryptocurrency would be a great example. Over the past 4 or 5 years, that hasn't been very in good light. People haven't shared. It's been shared that it's, maybe spammy. It can, be used for nefarious reasons. All of these negative attachments to it, right? So then when you look at it into this realm, you're moving into a realm where it's going to be probably pushed in a positive light for regulations and things to happen. So you have to be aware of why 2025 is really going to usher in more Web3 initiatives, metaverse, a lot more AI. AI's been around for 2 years. So you got to understand how that's going to shape and show up and continue to show up. I should clarify that, as well as fintech, which is where cryptocurrency lies under. It's under financial technology, so it falls underneath that realm of anything within the financial technology sector, which would be NFTs, cryptocurrencies, anything that is moving or utilizing the blockchain to serve us better, to be very frank. But so you have to understand that these topics of conversation are no longer future forward. Like when we get there, when the future gets here, the future is coming. No, the future is here. The future is now. We are living it as we speak. It might not look like flying cars like everybody thought it would, but it will very soon. And what do I mean by that? They do have flying cars available already in this beautiful world. But what comes down the pipeline is essentially that evolution is taking hold. And evolution, if anybody has watched the computer evolution, the Web 2 evolution, when everybody went from not having a computer into their house to everybody has a computer in their house, and now everybody has a smartphone in their hand, that whole conversation is the simple fact of evolution, technology evolution. And it's taken 30 years for people to get a cell phone in their hand. Every member of the family, when it came out, it was a car phone. It was, it still had a cord. It didn't have the ability. I remember when I was in high school, there was one girl that had a cell phone. We were a school of 200 people. One girl had a cell phone and she never used it. It literally lived in her glove compartment of her car. And it was strictly there for emergency purposes. If she was ever driving, got in a accident, whatever it would be, her mom gave her a cell phone so she could call in. Now that was back in the, mid 90s, 95, 96, 97 timeframe when I was in high school. Now everybody has a cell phone. So we have an evolution that's happened, and it's happened slowly. And so that's what people have to understand. Oh, well, cryptocurrency, Web3, metaverse, AI, it's not going to be here. It's going to be another 10, 20 years down the road. No, it's already here. But because you don't use it on an everyday basis, or don't realize you use it on an everyday basis, you think it's further down the road. And the reason why I say you don't realize you use it on an everyday basis is simply because it comes down to the fact that if you use Cash App, Venmo, PayPal, Stripe, any of those within the last month, you've used Web3 fintech services. So, Mr. Jones, boom. I got off on a tangent there, as I do, Miss Talk a Lot. So I will have to hand the talking stick back over to you. And what would you like to share with us? Because I know you got some great facts and figures, and for us just to 2x4 between the eyeballs.
Well, not so much of that. I love the conversation that you shared, that, people have been utilizing, this technology. And even as we move into, this fintech and crypto, which you guys definitely need to come and join us for tomorrow's conversation of, the future of finance, how crypto and fintech will impact your business and drive your business. And that's tomorrow at, same time, same channel, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and come be a part of that conversation, because over the holidays, we've been coming up with these things and just having these out loud, thoughts. And something that I shared to Tara the other day, I think this was Christmas or the Christmas Eve, somewhere around there. And I was like, how can people say they don't believe in crypto, but yet they're all over AI?
Yep.
They realize that that's one of the same thing. And most people don't realize. And once again, we start to listen to the wrong people.
Yep.
I mean, we really start to pay attention. And a lot of the time, something that me and Tara realized is that maybe the reason why we don't have a whole bunch of people in our room or come visit, because we're about action. And we're not here to candy coat things. We're not here to have a kumbaya party. We're not here to rub each other's wounds. We're not here to say, oh, it'll be all right. No, we're here to push you forward.
Oh, we say it's going to be all right, but then we move you into solutions.
Yes, and most people want to continuously live in that drama and trauma and, just the turmoil.
They want to be that old hound dog.
Yeah, they want to be the old hound dog, right? And really, we had our amazing Getting Naked podcast that if you guys do not know about, you definitely should go and check out our Getting Naked podcast where that's the 2x4. Where something we talked about, this year in businesses and people that are entrepreneurs. Are you an entrepreneur or you really have a side hustle? And a lot of people are portraying that they're entrepreneurs and they have a business when in all reality, it's a side hustle. There's some trauma. There's something that's happened in their life that now all of a sudden they want to help people out with. And now all of a sudden they got this looking good running the show, or this entrepreneurship word that comes up, and they're not committed, they're not consistent, they're not reevaluating, they're not committed to their business, and they're definitely not investing in their business, saying that they have a business or saying that they're going to do this, saying they're going to do that. And they've been saying the same shit since 2020 at the end of the day.
Same shit.
And so, this is where we have to really distinguish ourselves and separate ourselves. As one of the main things that me and Tara are going to be talking about this year is stop thinking small. Last year we said the same exact thing, but I'm going to be honest with you guys. We didn't make the pivot as much as we wanted to. This year, we're absolutely going to be making the pivot to larger businesses, larger enterprises, larger corporations, because what we find out is that, a lot of the times talking to people in the same pond, they don't have the same dreams and the same aspirations and the same go get it as you do, because it's a side hustle. It's not a business. It's not an actual, fully systemized, business with clients at that. And one of the greatest quotes that I put out yesterday was, if everybody understands what you're trying to do, you probably don't have a big enough goal. And I want you all to ask yourself, first of all, do people understand what you do? Do they know what you do? Which a lot of the times people don't know what you do, which is why we share with you guys all, nobody knows about your business if you don't talk about your business. And that's number one. People don't talk about their business. People don't reach out to, fresh lead calls or, make these conversations, the hard conversations, and get that no. And they wonder why they don't have no business, because they're not reaching out, because they're scared of that part. And something that we talked about, really was entrepreneurship and employee. A lot of people that claim to be entrepreneurs still have an employee mindset and don't look at it from an entrepreneur mindset of, hey, if I invest in this, what is this return on time? What is the return on investment? A lot of the times we look at it in the wrong way. Like, prime example, there was a video that I shared over the holidays where a guy was selling people, a bag. And he was like, hey, you can have this bag, for $1. And everybody was looking at, oh no, I don't want to spend that $1. But nobody was looking at what was inside the damn bag. They were just looking at the upfront cost of what it was going to cost them and not looking at the return on value or the return that was in that bag. And that's the broke mindset thinking that a lot of people have when they jump into entrepreneurship. And this is something that we share with you guys all, which is why this is Wake Up, and Win 2025. It's about you getting out of your own damn way at the end of the day. And it's really about you having that conversation with yourself and asking yourself, hey, I got a side hustle, or do I really have a business? And that's a conversation you get to have. And guess what? There's nothing wrong. There's nothing right with either way. But just make sure that the expectations that you have, there are two different, you're talking about apples and oranges at this point. And so really ask
Alfredo
yourself,
and spaghetti.
Exactly, right? Really ask yourself, what are you doing? And something that I heard earlier today from John Maxwell, right, was he was sharing with people, there's two things you're going to do. You're either going to be preparing or you're going to be repairing. And so you can prepare for today, right, and get everything done. But if you don't get everything done today, tomorrow you're going to be repairing. So you might as well prepare and do the things that you need to get done today so you don't have to repair. And this is where you get to move forward in life. And, and this is something that we share with you guys all is not reflect, right? Or should I say regret on 2024, but really reflect on it and don't beat yourself up as I know we haven't, but just understanding, I got to understand where I'm at now in order to move forward. And a lot of the times we just want to move forward, not realizing where we're at now, because a lot of the times in order to grow, it's not something you do outwardly. It's something you do inwardly, internally with yourself. And that, my friends, is really where the self-discovery and being an entrepreneur is not only, money tied to it, but it's also a personal, journey of life lessons and really restructuring and rethinking and retooling our employee mindset that we've all been raised with. And really something that we talked about, was entrepreneurship is getting outside the matrix.
That part.
A true entrepreneurship, not having a 9 to 5, right? Not having something else, but really entrepreneurship where everything that you bring in the door pays employees, takes care of your household, takes care of everything. That's true entrepreneurship at the end of the day, and not having nothing else to rely back on and having a plan B or having a plan A and then having this plan B that you put in front. But really, it's not true entrepreneurship, and there's nothing wrong with that. So I don't want nobody sending me no damn hate mail, because we were there as well when we started our journey. But as we progress, we understand the difference. And a lot of the times what we've seen is that so many people are listening to these people that have a side hustle trying to tell you how to run an entrepreneurship or a business, and they have no clue what they're doing, or they're not even doing it themselves, and or more importantly, moving forward into the future, because power will never relinquish power, and power will always come up with the rules. And so many people have the power right now of sticking to this old school ass Zoom, sticking to this old school way of engagement, and they hold the power right now. And they understand that they are about to lose the power. And there's this new thing called Web3, AI. And so many people are denying the fact that this robotics and this AI, it is coming for your job. Because I can tell you right now, from an entrepreneur, if my ass could have something that's faster, more reliable, cheaper, no headache, no vacation time, no oops, my bad, no none of this, I'm all for it. Sign me up. And that is exactly what 2020 put in a lot of these entrepreneurs and a lot of these corporations, to where there's going to be full automated businesses. Prime example, just like right now with Amazon. Amazon said, oh, you going on strike? Oh, okay. We just going to test out this fully automatic robots that can run and pick and do all these things for us. Guess what? Forget your union. We got these robots. And that's unfortunately where we're going. And then we've been shouting this from the mountaintops and kind of backed off of it because people didn't like it. But the truth is the truth at the end of the day. And so this is why we continue to share with you guys all. This is the greatest time to live and be around, because the financial sector is changing, technology is changing, the way that we communicate is changing. And so why not be able to retool and restructure? And really, at the end of the day, we all get this reset button if you're paying attention, and most people aren't. So that's what I got. Mr. Talk a Lot.
No, I think I would love to, add on to a few points there where you talk about the levels of entrepreneurship. And we look, guys, we get this because we were there. We understand that. We have went through these levels. We're still going through levels. Of course, you're at all. Jeff Bezos is going through levels, right? There's different, Elon Musk is going through levels. There's different levels of everything, because you're constantly pushing yourself to solve problems, to, be able to make it a more convenient way of doing something, right? And what I want to share is, for whatever reason you're thrusted into entrepreneurship or a side hustle, or something that is bringing in extra income into your house, there's a reason, there's a pain point that happened. And I don't discredit anybody, because that's why we started entrepreneurship. It was because of pain points. David had his pain point. He was taking well over 500 flights in just 3 years, covering basically west of the Mississippi was his territory, which is a huge territory. And in that, having the company having no problem for him to spend money left and right on clients, but yet when it was required for him to get home earlier because he needed to get to the dentist for a toothache, which was $100 change fee, that wasn't acceptable by the company. Mine was similar. It was because of employers, David's employer, my employer, and it was over money. That's the biggest thing, is that these employers try to nickel and dime their employees when they don't realize that if they would take care of their employees, then their business and their clients would show up. But they have it backwards, that they nickel and dime their employees, that then they turn around and be like, screw this, I can go build my own dream. Why am I sitting here building a dream for you when I can be out building my own dream and not having to, deal with your shit? Excuse my French, but that's literally, look, over 75% of people do not like what they're doing on a daily basis. They hate their job. So when I say I'm tired of dealing with your shit to the boss man, 75% of you are like, hell yeah, because I'm tired of dealing with my boss man's shit. Everybody is. And guess what? You can change one job and go to another one. It's not going to be any different. And that is the pain points that David and I had that thrusted us into entrepreneurship. And when we got in there, it was a side hustle. It wasn't, we were business owners, but we weren't sole business owners, meaning that wasn't our only revenue coming into our house. We had corporate positions that we both brought in well over 6 figures each side. So we had a side hustle. But I don't discredit people for wanting to get into business because of a pain point. But what I share with you is that once you start entrepreneurship and you actually want to be a full-time entrepreneur, to where you quit your corporate position and you leave that little nest egg / umbrella / safety net, and you go out 100% on your own to either make sure you keep a roof over your head, or also make sure that your employees have a roof over their head. The point being is, that is where the rubber meets the road. And so when we talk about levels to entrepreneurship, we're speaking about the fact of, have you burnt your boats? Have you thrown your hat over the fence? And this is the only thing you do that provides income into your house, that provides a roof over your head and food in your mouth. Have you been there? If you've been there, then you understand what we're talking about. If you have not, and you have somebody who is maybe the main provider, or you have a main provider position, meaning you are employed, then you're not full on entrepreneur. You're not surviving off of what your profits make out of your business. And it doesn't discredit you, but there's a different understanding. And that is where David is talking about. In 2024, we heard several people make excuses when we would have rooms like this and people would have conversations and come up and talk. There'd be lots of people that had pain points and wanted to talk about those pain points, but they're not actually taking action to do anything about it. All they want to do is have the conversation about the pain point, because they're not healing. They're not doing the work. They're not moving forward. That doesn't make them wrong, but that's a different level. And so when we enter into 2025, as we shared with you guys at the beginning of this, we're looking at new levels in our business. If you're not looking at new levels in your life, wherever you're at, whether it's in your personal life, your professional life, your entrepreneurial life, whatever it is, if you're not looking at achieving new levels, then I wouldn't say you're dead. I'm not going to say you're wrong, but there's not an ambition there to get better. Now, let me say this. You have this conversation with my 73-year-old mother. She's like, screw your levels. Like, you already know. That's why you're laughing. Because she's like, no, I'm not about that. But you talk to somebody who's our age, like we just had a conversation with our mentor yesterday, and he's like, I'm looking for new levels. So you have to understand it's the different seasons of life, that everybody has a different, season where they're at. Some people are in, growing. Some people are in the nurturing where they've got to, kind of get everything back together and centered and balanced so they can grow. Think about a season of a crop. Coming from an Idaho farm girl here, it comes down to in the winter, you're letting the land rest. There's nothing that is planted during the winter. Now, if you're growing, crops that you want to harvest in the fall, come springtime, you're starting to freshen up the ground, get everything balanced, get the seeds in there and planted, moisturize them, water them. I don't know why I said moisturize, but water them, fertilize them so they grow and tend to them. And then you're in a nurturing phase. And then you get to a phase where you've nurtured it all spring and summer, and now you're to a harvest phase. And then you repeat the cycle. There's nothing different than in a business. And so when we talk about different levels, you have to adopt technology, period. Technology adaptation has to be a critical part. You might not be a technology guru. You could be, an author, an artist, a chef, in finance, in insurance. You could do excavation work like my brother. You could do all these things, but you have to have technology adoption, whichever way you would like to say it. You have to implement that into your business. You must implement it into your business. If you're not, you are increasing your technical debt, and your technical debt will only continue to put you behind. You will find yourself in a horse and a buggy, or walking on the side of the road when everybody's, in their flying cars. And you're like, well, I want to have my flying car. Well, you didn't increase your, technical knowledge. And so you increased your technical debt. You're doing one of two things. You're either increasing your technical knowledge or you're increasing your technical debt. There is no dead in the middle. You are not, idle in the center. If you're not updating, you're increasing your technical debt. If you are pivoting and looking and learning and listening to conversations like ours, listening to other conversations out there, there's so many out there. We are in a world right now where you get information. The amount of information that you would take, that used to take us like 100 years, we now get in one day.
Yeah.
100 years of worth of information when before technology came down the pipeline, we now get in one day. So there is tons of information out there. And my mom, I love her to death. She always says, well, you can't believe everything on the internet. And I'm thinking, you can't believe everything on the bathroom wall either. You can't believe everything that comes out of your, son or daughter's mouth. I mean the daughter, you can't believe anything anybody says or does, so it comes down to when she loves to say that, when she's like, well, it's just technology and you just can't believe everything on the internet. I want to just go, I love you, but I get you. You're right. But you can't believe everything out of, the quilting girl's mouth either, Yeah. So it comes down really to what I'm sharing here is understand that if you're not gaining knowledge, technical knowledge, you're gaining technical debt, period.
Yeah, I love that, baby. And you're so spot on, and as Miss Leah, if you guys do not know Miss Leah is listening to us right now. And some of the things that she shared with us, right, was that you're either growing or you're dying. which is exactly to what you were
Bingo.
saying out the gate, right? You're either
See,
grilling
great
or
minds
you're
think
not,
alike, Miss
right?
Leah.
And then, Miss Leah even said, if you don't build your own dreams, someone will hire you to build their dreams. She's spot on.
Mm-hmm.
When you were talking about, your job. And there's nothing wrong with having a job, but this is why we share with people, and even when you said, which was huge, there's different levels of entrepreneurship. And I was going through different levels of entrepreneurship just from our journey, right? Of side hustle with the 9 to 5, not having any customers is an entrepreneurship level. Getting recommendations, should I say, is or giving away things for free, right? As we did, we gave away things for free in that entrepreneurship phase, and then we went to the networking groups and things of that sort of getting business, and then you do have customers, and then the entrepreneurship phase of small business, the small-minded people that you're talking to and things of that sort, and then the phase that we're moving towards is the big business, because one of the things that we've been sharing with our clients is a small business will put you out of business at the end of the day, because the same amount of time that you spend, the same amount of effort, you could have taken that time and utilized it into a bigger client, especially as we talk about this AI and metaverse. And just want you guys to understand this, right? Utilizing AI is going to enhance your efficiency. You're going to get data-driven decisions. No more what you think, what your broke brother-in-law thinks, what your boss thinks, what your mama thinks, right? Or what you think just on your past. You literally get to utilize data-driven decisions where it's a whole. And this is where we share with you guys facts over your feelings. AI allows you to personalize your customer experience. It allows you to have cost reduction. It gives competitive advantage you utilizing AI, scalability, improved accuracy, and it's open 24/7. And so this is something that we continuously share with you guys to be able to understand how important it is for you to utilize this AI. And something that we share with people is that it's the mindset.
Yeah.
It's you not selling yourself that you're not good at this. This isn't for you. This ain't my cup of tea. When in all reality, you're selling yourself of why you're not getting it done, which blows my mind. Like, stop selling yourself. Prime example, stop selling yourself on not moving forward into the metaverse. So I've been watching so many rooms lately in LinkedIn alone that people are just showing up and everybody talks about, oh, I want a different experience. I want this, that, and the other, but you're showing up without your camera on, and all people are looking at is a box with your logo. That is nowhere near compared to this showing up in an avatar, being able to walk around. You could put your camera on if you wanted to. This is a whole lot better than just a picture or a green screen that has holes in it that people are running to claiming that's reality. And I'm like, what are you thinking? That's a glorified Zoom at the end of the day, when this is the same, if not easier, to walk into and to log into metaverse, especially our Hello Plaza, where people can join from their cell phone, people can join from their laptop, people can join from their iPad, and if they do have the VR headsets, they can come and join. And so it's really up to you. And as I shared earlier, a lot of people do not want to make this transition because then they don't know it. And a lot of people are sticking to this old school Zoom, this old school, virtual, 2D platforms, because, that's easier when you're, like you said, you're taking a step back, like, honestly, on purpose, when you're not making that movement. And especially when that there's something else out there for you.
Yep.
And now that it's even 10 times worse that you're not making the pivot forward. Or we've even had people say, oh my God, this is a whole lot better than Go Brunch, and they're right back on Go Brunch. Like, did you not just hear yourself say that this was a better experience, and yet you're running back to that? So it just baffles me when we say Yes, there's AI. Yes, there's metaverse. Yes, there's all these things, but are you actually going to do it? Right?
Well, that's the kicker. Are you actually going to
Wake
do
up.
it? It's the first of the month.
Yeah.
But you hit bingo on the head when it comes down to the fact of, when I shared, you're either, you can't stay idle. You're either stepping forward or you're stepping backwards.
Mhm.
And when people choose to make a choice in what they're going to do, i.e., you used it right now. I mean, a prime example, and this ain't beating up on anybody, but it's the fact that, do you want to go into metaverse? You could, like, LinkedIn is gone. LinkedIn audio rooms are gone.
Gone.
And everybody off of LinkedIn had, three choices essentially. They could go into another audio-based platform like Clubhouse or something like that. You could go into something that would be like a Zoom or Restream or StreamYard or Go Brunch, or you could step forward into the metaverse. And a lot of people, like you just said, are scared to do it, even when you can do it from your laptop, from your phone, the same way you can do everything else. Less pushes of the button, it's still scary. And why is it scary? Because at the end of the day, it's not known. And this is what we, as pioneers in this industry, understand. And it is hard for us to understand when people won't make that move. We literally, guys, I tell you, will beat our heads up against the wall going, why don't people understand that they need to adopt Web3? Whether you want to do it through us or not, you got to adopt. You're going to be forced to use this. You remember when the pandemic hit and everybody started ordering off of Amazon and they started picking up their groceries from Walmart and not going into the store?
Yep.
Everybody started using Zoom. The same thing's going to happen again. They will, again, something will happen. It will force people to have to make a change. And that's the kicker. And like we have said, we don't mean to, we don't mean this in any disrespect, but we're speaking to the wrong people.
Yeah.
We're talking to the wrong people.
Are you talking to the wrong people?
And that is just where we share, and we share this openly. Does not make anybody right or wrong. Does not make the people, when we say we're talking to the wrong people, they're not wrong. It's just that's not where they're at within their level. They're not in that level. They're not in the level that we're in. And we're trying to get people to understand. And in reality, we already need to go talk to the people that understand, because David and I know, overcoming objection is the hardest thing to do when you're dealing with people. Getting them out of their comfort zone, which is why people are going over to, when LinkedIn stopped and LinkedIn audio went bye-bye, people went over to other audio rooms, or they went over to 2D platforms, which is a Zoom, a Restream, a Go Brunch, a StreamYard. It's not 3D. It's not virtual. And the reason they did that is because they are not pioneers within that area, that sector, within the technology sector. That's not their forte. And that's why something, when we sit here and we share with you guys that you got to make that pivot, we're not speaking in the right pond. We're talking to the wrong pond. Doesn't make anybody wrong, doesn't make us wrong, doesn't make them wrong, but it's just falling on deaf ears because that's not priority to them. That is not a priority. And so when you talk about this, it's understanding. This is why we talk to you guys about levels. This is why we have chosen that we have to move into a new level. We can no longer talk to people, that are at this level and do business at this level, because that's going backwards, or that's a lateral move. Instead, we need to be making moves that progress and move forward. And so what's the next move? For us to go talk to companies and corporations and businesses and do the same thing that we do now at that level, a higher level, a different level. And instead of having to teach people what Web3 is, Go speak to the people that know what Web3 is and offer a solution and a service within that sector. Everybody out here has the ability to do the same thing we're talking about. I'll use Miss Leah just because she's the one that's dropping amazing comments right now. Miss Leah's in a financial strategist and an insurance professional. We've actually had this conversation in a little, in a small, realm within other rooms, LinkedIn audio rooms, but it's understanding that who is the business that you're going to go after. And she's even shared herself, I'm going after a new level. I'm going after a different level of service. Does not make anybody right or wrong. It's called growth. And if you're not growing, we kind of know what the opposite of growing is. It's digressing. It's dead. It's not blooming. It's not, taking shape and growing more. And so I share this with love, but it's understanding that sometimes you outgrow a pond, and we've outgrown Web 2 pond. We're into Web 3. We've outgrown the consumer base that we're serving. It's time for us to level up our, and it also is motivation for you guys as well to be able to understand you've got to figure out what the next level is. And guys, moving to a next level is scary because what happens is, and we too just went through this. This is why we share this openly. In 2024, we wanted to be going after different levels of business. We were, but were we as gun-hoed and hard-nosed on that new level? No. And we found ourselves reverting back to the comfortable lateral level. Yep. We stayed lateral. We did not level up. Now other people looking in, you guys are great. You are leveling up all the time. And we appreciate that. But we push ourselves. We push ourselves to a lot harder than anybody else because we know what we have to offer. Just like you guys know. You guys push yourselves. You know what you have to offer. You know when you left everything out on the court, everything out on the field, everything out, on the mat. And you know when you've reserved some and you didn't leave everything and you walked away and you had a little bit more gas in the tank, right? And so that's what we're talking about in 2025. Level up your business, level up your technology, level up your knowledge, level up your awareness, level up your vibration, level up your energy, level up the ones that you allow within your vibration and your energy. Be cognitive of that. Level up your awareness, level up your self-awareness. Hold yourself accountable. Level up your extreme ownership. I'll tell you right now, the biggest gift I can give each and every one of you is to read the book Extreme Ownership. Boy, I tell you, there's things that David and I take extreme ownership now that 10 years ago we would have laughed in your face and went to our grave and never owned. And now when we do business or we're dealing with just on an everyday level of not even on a business level, just a personal level, and people are out of integrity and people are not doing what they say they will, oh my gosh, when you have a level of extreme ownership and people are not owning their own right, and we are not hard-nosed people around that. We have a lot of compassion because we understand how hard it is to get out of your own way and say, I messed up, I did this, I shouldn't have done that, and take ownership for who you are without any other factors around that. And when that comes down the pipeline, when you have done that and you've leveled up within your own integrity, other people, if they're not willing to and they're not on that level yet, doesn't mean that they don't want to be. They just haven't crossed that bridge. They just haven't had that journey. They just haven't had that, experience, as they say, as of yet. And the biggest thing is that all we can do is continue to encourage other people, but we will lead by example of what we're going to do, what we say we're going to do, and show up in our own business, and show up in our own life, and be of integrity, and make new levels for us, and be able to continue to grow with knowledge instead of finding ourselves making lateral movements like we did in 2024. What you think, Mr. Jones?
I love it, baby. I can tell you what, you can't do this in Zoom or any other 2D platform where you can drop a golf cart out of the thing in the air and start driving it. Let me see you do that.
While listening to the speaker talk and just drive around, right? Walk around.
I think we need to do maybe a race in here. This
races on it. Here comes Heartache in the backstretch.
And so you
ride on the inside.
You're spot on, love.
It's not karaoke, my bad.
On what you're sharing. And really being able to understand the concept that it's up to you. As we've been sharing and we continue to share. So we got a question in the chat and I love it, right? Truth be told, there is a remedy for getting people in this platform. You know what, Michael? You are so true. Let me show you how easy it is for people to make this transition and this pivot over into, the actual, into the metaverse. So here we go. You guys ready for a short little video? Here we go. Boom.
So I want to show you how easy it is to get into the metaverse from your actual phone or your laptop or iPad. You're going to be able to follow the same process. So what you're going to do first is you're going to go to the HelloLLC.io, our wonderful biz in a box, more than a website, and experience into our smart link. And you're going to scroll down and you're going to find a big button that says Hello Plaza. And when you find that button, you're going to see it and you're going to press it just like that one time. And it's going to take you to a different web page where you're going to hit play. And then it's going to ask you if you want to download an actual app, and you're going to hit open. And you're going to say yes. And then you're going to download this simple app. Now that this app has completely downloaded, you're going to hit open. And you're going to say allow to paste. Guess what? Boom. It is now uploading you into the Hello Plaza. This is how you enter into the metaverse from your phone or your laptop or your iPad. And my friends, this is the future.
Boom, my friends. And so that is how easy it is to get into the metaverse from your phone, your laptop, your iPad, whatever it may be. Even if you do have the VR headsets, you can come and join us in the metaverse. And if you guys don't know our amazing Pivot members, I highly encourage you to go check out Miss Cleo Michael with Set Yourself Free. She's going to be doing an amazing podcast this Saturday, January 11th at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Oh, yeah?
With the amazing guest, Miss Tara herself, that you guys can come into her Set Yourself Free studio where you can join as well from any device and be a part of this live podcast where you can ask Cleo questions. You can be a part of it, ask different questions that you might want to insert into it. And boom, there we go. Of course, Miss Roberta Pacino is on her off season. She just got finished with her season 1 podcast in the metaverse. If you definitely should go check out Buttons Up, amazing apparel. This young lady is definitely all about, bringing cancer awareness and anything and everything to the table on being able to not just, talk about it, but also showcase it in her apparel line. And then definitely come and learn more about Miss Leah Garcia. She's going to be having Tara on her Wealthy Wednesday, January 15th at 10 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So we're definitely looking forward to that amazing event. You are everywhere, love. And if you guys don't know about Miss Denise King with CD King Naturals, definitely check out her amazing coaching and apparel, and also amazing journals that you can get as well, because writing it out is always incredible. And then definitely not last and not least, but Miss Merlin Clark with Mac Leadership Solutions. And you guys definitely can go check out her amazing Biz in a Box, as all of these clients with their Biz in a Box that is more than a website. It's a smart link into a brand new experience. And we have some other VIP and gold members that have joined us as well, from Miss Gwen Nash and Miss Christine Cardi. So they'll be up here very soon. And so, as we say, there's different levels in entrepreneurship. And this is where you have to determine, especially, as we have this conversation about AI and metaverse, where are you at, in having this conversation? And I see we have Miss Crystal Bay in here as well, Miss Crystal Phoenix in here in the metaverse with us as well. And she just popped out. But thank you, Miss Crystal, for coming and joining and being with us for sure. And so you guys definitely understand that you guys can have your events in here as well. And the biggest thing, if you're looking at this, I want you to understand, me and Tara don't have to send you no StreamYard link, no Restream link. We ain't got to have you in the back room. We cannot just have 6 or 7. We can get 5. We can get up to 1,000 people in here right now. If we needed to, we can bump it up to 5,000. And so this is literally where you get to jump in. You get to have controls, unmute yourself, put yourself on camera. This, my friends, makes a social audio room better than ever. As we have Miss Crystal Bay in here. Let me see if we can unmute ourselves and get Miss Crystal to say hi to us. Hey, Miss Crystal, how you doing, ma'am? You know how to unmute yourself and talk to us. We're live as well, so I can understand if you don't want to talk, ma'am. Cool. We'll keep this party rock and rolling. But thanks, Miss Crystal, for joining with us today. I'm gonna put myself on mute. Oh, there she is.
It's I love it. Well, hello, Miss Crystal. Happy New Year to you as well. Thank you so much for jumping in here as always. I tell you guys what, Crystal, we'll be walking through here, and Crystal will just pop up on you. And that's the beautiful thing about, our room. You can just come in here and have races on your own and, do whatever else you want to. You don't have to have us here. But, thank you so much, Miss Crystal, for jumping in here. Thank you, Miss Leah, for being here. Miss Tracy was here as well. I saw she popped up and left a few comments. And who else? Michael? Was it Michael the other one?
Yeah, Michael, we answered his
Yeah,
question.
absolutely. So I'm just say thank you for all those that dropped some comments. I know there's other people that are listening in listening mode in the background, but I wanted to give them a shout out and lots of love. But as you shared, we got lots tomorrow. What are we talking about? We're talking about
Tomorrow we have the future of finance, why crypto and fintech will drive your business.
exactly. And so tomorrow we'll dive in a little deeper. We will be talking about cryptocurrency, fintech, how that is going to really change in 2025. This is going to be something that is at the forefront of change within the Web3. You're going to see mass adoption come down the pipeline starting this year. So that's what we're going to dive into and why it's important for you to understand how to position yourself as an entrepreneur and a business to make sure that you are staying within compliance and moving forward and not lateral. What you got, Mr. Jones?
Yeah. And so, we wanted to be able to drop some of these facts on you guys, and especially not just facts, but some of you might not be believing in AI, right now. You might not believe in metaverse right now. And I want to help you out. Amazon is utilizing AI. Netflix is utilizing AI. Siemens is utilizing AI. Uber, Zara, Mayo Clinic, LinkedIn, that some of you guys are looking at us right now. PayPal is utilizing AI. And it blows my mind and it baffles me when people say, oh, I'm not too sure about AI. And I once again remind you, you've been utilizing AI. What do you call Grammarly Check? Some of y'all asses wouldn't pass college if it wasn't for Grammarly Check. Let me speak for myself, okay? What do you call, Alexa? What do you call Siri? that's been listening on you that Apple just came out and had to pay a big fine for because your Siri been listening to you privately without you knowing. Hello. And
shame on you, Siri.
what about, your self-driving car? What about you, talking to Siri saying, hey, turn up my AC, pull up my AC, I need some heat right now. This is all AI. And this is where we share with people. It's a learning language model that allows us as human beings to no longer do the nitty gritty, little tasks that we now can assign and or more importantly, right, be able to delegate some of these responsibilities to a computer or anything else other than you that can do it. And I can assure you, Miss Leah, that you guys see up here, she has our amazing Biz in a Box that we've implemented AI into. I can assure you she loves having more of her time to where she's not having to write emails. She's not having to check her calendar. She's not having to say, hey, go here, do this, be that, and this, that, and the other. She's allowing herself to implement AI and get more of her time back. And that's essentially what we do at the Hello LLC. We remind people we want more for you than from you. But at the end of the day, time is our only competition. And that should be your only competition. And we give you back your time that we all wish we had more of. All wish we could spend more time with our family. All wish we could spend more time with our hobbies and or whatever we like to do. And that's what AI allows you to do if you are willing to get out of the mindset. And something that you shared earlier, Love, is that, as a business owner, as an entrepreneur, there's no problem with us overcoming objections for businesses. But what we cannot do is overcome a broke mindset. What we cannot do is overcome a negative mindset. What we cannot do is overcome a forward-thinking mindset. And that, my friends, it doesn't matter how many facts, stats, case studies, all of these things that we bring to people's forefront, it will not matter until you get out of that mindset. And then we could talk about objections of, hey, David, how is this going to help me with this? Hey, David, how is this going to help me with that? Not, oh, I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to adapt, or, oh, are people going to be able to get over into this? If your ass got into LinkedIn, if you got into Zoom, if you're now trying to download all these other different apps to find a new community to join and be a part of, then you can definitely join into the metaverse, especially our Hello Plaza that is literally, we just shared with you guys, easy peasy breezy on being able to implement these things. And so, that's just some of the things that we want to share with you guys. And even more importantly, right, if we dug down into, just the facts about, AI, the global AI market is projected to reach $184 billion. Okay. With North America holding at 36.84 market share. That's huge. And if your ass don't understand billion to million to trillion, grab some popcorn real quick, Buttercup. If you want to count to a million, go sit somewhere and sit down somewhere for 11 days, okay? For $1 million. You want to count to a billion? Go ahead and sit your ass down, grab a shovel, right? Depending on where you are right now in your age, and sit down for 32 years. That's how long it would take you to count to a billion, okay? To count to a trillion. I'm definitely telling you right now, whether you want cremated, whether you want, if you want burial, whatever you want on your tombstone, all of that, because your ass ain't making it. 32,264 years to count to a trillion. And most of us don't get this concept. $184 billion just in 2024, right? The growth rate, AI is expected to grow by 19% year over year, exceeding $2.5 trillion by 2032. This is facts, right? We continue to sell ourselves on, oh, AI isn't doing this, oh, AI isn't doing that. Guess what? If Terminator come up out of this bad boy, any AI decides to, say, no, you humans, guess what? We did it to ourselves. And we've been doing it to ourselves. And at this point, something's better than nothing. Business adoption. Approximately 35% of businesses worldwide are utilizing AI, with 22% of them aggressively integrating AI across various products and workflows. If you guys don't know, there's this company out there called NVIDIA. And NVIDIA just came out with a supercomputer that's 1,000 times faster than your laptop. And this bad boy is probably no bigger than your phone, stacked twice. And all of us are going to need these supercomputers implementing AI and utilizing Web3 and this metaverse. And so these companies are already well ahead of the game. The question is your head stuck in the sand, not looking at this? The economy impact. AI is predicted to contribute 21% net increase to the US GDP by 2030. So follow the money, as they say. Employee landscape. In 2023, most common AI-related jobs in the US was data entry, accounting for 23% of all AI positions. As we've been sharing, my friends, you're not going to have to compete with your fellow coworker. Mm-hmm. You're going to have to compete with, and there's really no competition with this Tesla robot. Asian companies have been coming out with these robots. Just a little while ago, Samsung announced that you're going to have this little robot that can, play TV. It's kind of like a Siri, Alexa on steroids, where your Alexa and Siri ass now moves and it's on wheels. So be on the lookout for that, right? And so, these are so many things that AI is bringing to the table. And, instead of us talking about metaverse and showcasing you guys about metaverse, what we're going to do is we found this great video that's going to talk about, the metaverse and how it really can help out businesses and understanding it overall. So here we go. You ready?
The metaverse.
The metaverse. The metaverse.
Let's talk about metaverse.
By now, you've probably heard of the metaverse.
From now on, we're going to be metaverse first, not Facebook first.
But even with all this hype,
and many are betting big that it could change the face of how we interact.
We have to say it's pretty amazing.
The metaverse might still be a little confusing.
What is the metaverse?
The metaverse is basically the successor state to today's mobile internet. It's an internet that is going to be a lot more immersive, more social possibly, a lot more engaging, more 3D. So it's almost like the internet's going to be all around us in some ways, breaking away from our phones, our desks.
The metaverse is going to offer, at least in the way that we define it, let's say it's going to be Web 3.0. It's going to be a world that's going to be more seamless. It's going to give more opportunity for much better experiences, much more immersive experiences.
And to get there are a lot of different technologies involved.
It is enabled by many different technologies. So AI, obviously, which is really hot right now, is part of the future state of the internet. AR and VR, 5G, 6G, cloud computing, edge computing. There's an element of blockchain as well, possibly. So yeah, it's kind of how we will experience the future state of the internet. So that to me is part of that beginning idea and concept of how do we make the world more immersive.
I am proud to announce that starting today, our company is now Meta.
Mark Zuckerberg made this announcement in late 2021, saying that his company is now going to be
metaverse first, not Facebook first.
And other major brands and companies proceeded to join the metaverse party. Fashion brands like Nike and Gucci created virtual experiences for customers to explore their history, products, and designs. Walmart built a virtual world called Walmart Land, where people can play games, attend concerts, and buy virtual merchandise for its avatars. But some people argue that the metaverse still has a long way to go.
As much as I don't necessarily always like seeing those headlines that proclaim the death of the metaverse, I understand that it was overhyped. There was just a lot. I think it's important to kind of understand that, especially for the younger generations, for Gen Z, but more so Gen Alpha, whatever happens in these virtual spaces is still very real, right? Just because it happens in Fortnite doesn't make it less real to them. It's very real. It's this continuum of the spaces they inhabit, which can be virtual and the physical world. The friends, the relationships they make are real. For a lot of us that are in this industry, it's also making sure that we explain to people, like, this is a long-term vision. It's a long-term play.
We do have one more thing.
And there are some notable companies making long-term plays on the metaverse. Apple unveiled in June 2023 its long-awaited
Vision Pro,
a mixed reality headset scheduled to be released in early 2024. Tech website The Verge demoed it and called it
the best possible version of a VR headset.
Also in 2023, BMW opened what it calls the world's first virtual factory, a digital twin of a factory that it can run simulations on before actually opening the real physical factory. BMW did this using NVIDIA's Omniverse platform, which its CEO has compared to the metaverse. Epic Games, the developers of the hugely popular Fortnite game, is also deeply invested in the metaverse, after raising $2 billion to advance the company's vision to build the metaverse. The LEGO Group, which announced a metaverse partnership with Epic Games, is also bullish on the metaverse space.
Firstly, I don't think that Metaverse is going to be just one platform. I think Metaverse, at least in my view, should be platform agnostic. I think that's the benefit of it, is the fact that it's going to actually be agnostic to a particular platform. It's going to exist in different technologies, and it should be interoperable. And I think what's going to power it up is if people are able to move seamlessly through the experiences in the Metaverse versus actually being siloed into one particular platform.
So whether it's on Roblox, Fortnite, NVIDIA's Omniverse, and through a Meta or Apple headset, or something else entirely, there are a lot of different directions the metaverse could go. And that's the point, as technology, the internet, and the way we use both of them evolves.
This is not going to go away. The internet will continue to evolve. The hardware is going to continue to evolve beyond our phones. That post-smartphone future. New wearables are going to potentially open up new ways for us to engage with the internet. Those are all things that brands look at towards the horizon. So yeah, the long-term value is that things are moving fast. Technology is converging, and a whole new generation that is going to change things is slowly, growing up.
Yeah. So that, my friends, was an amazing video about, metaverse and explaining to you guys how important it is that we're making this pivot moving forward. And AI and all of that, is combined together. And we'll even show you guys even more, right? Is due to the fact that you can come into our metaverse world and you can come talk to our actual chatbot AI. Zoom doesn't have this, definitely no other, 2D platforms have this where you come and talk to an actual AI chatbot that has all the updated information about our company, about what we do. You can even come here and chat and text it as well and ask questions. As for those of you that came and joined us for our Santa Claus Got Wi-Fi, you were able to come in here and talk to Santa Claus and, have the kids, ask it questions, what they wanted for Christmas, all of that, and be able to sit on Santa's lap. And so this is where we continuously keep sharing with you guys, the wave of new technology and implementing technology. And the crazy thing about it is it's everything that you've been asking for. It's everything that you've been wanting. Ask Leah, ask so many of our clients that have sat there and been like, dang, I got everything that I asked for and more. And now I just get to enjoy this journey as we continue to build on this new, technology and AI. And so without further ado, love, you got anything you want to add before we get out of here?
At the end of the day, Happy New Year, everybody. It is going to be a great year because you will make it a great year. Be sure to level up not only in your business, but in your mindset, in your personal life. Level up everywhere. Level up your energy, your vibration, and level up your self-awareness and extreme ownership. You want your life to go real easy breezy? Let me tell you, when you start understanding who you are, you're one with who you are, and understand that you're good. You got goods, you got flaws, you got bads. Not bads. You just have flaws as well, like we all do. And when you take grasp of that, and when you understand who you are in this world, then and it takes extreme ownership in this world, life gets real easy, because nobody can tear you down and tell you something that you already know you're not or you are, as well as if you take ownership and right your wrongs and reinstate your integrity, life's pretty easy breezy. So with that said, don't be making lateral moves this year. Move forward. Level yourself up. Do not be putting yourself in technical debt. Put yourself in technical knowledge and embrace what is coming down the pipeline, because if you don't, it'll be force fed to you. And then you'll be like my brother, who was just having a conniption fit over the weekend when technology was whooping his ass. And I say that with all love, but he was like, I don't do this. I do heavy equipment and I do dirt. I don't do technology, sis. And I said, sorry, buddy. It's a good thing you have a sister that knows how to do this. But he is a prime example of getting left behind. And I hate to say it, but it's a good thing he's got me, or he would be SOL. So with that said,
He'd
Mr.
be
Jones,
FAFO.
yeah, he would FAFO for sure. So with that said, Mr. Jones, you know the drill.
Love,
kindness,
integrity,
but most importantly,
commitment
and
consistency.
And a new one, heavy duty, extra, extreme ownership. I just put that on right now. We're going to have to work on that. No, that was just me a little heavy duty.
That's way too much.
I know.
I was like, that's vetoed immediately.
Toodles. Goodbye, y'all. Have a great day. Thanks for being here. See you tomorrow.